engagement principle that I really wanted to promote with this lesson is offer the students a chance to be self-regulated with their learning by offering them the iPads and having them go through the stations. The way that I wanted to do this was providing multiple mediums for students to get their information. So it taps into the strong readers, the listeners, and the visual learners, and making the information relevant.
The goal of the lesson, or one of the goals of the lesson, was to build a Rube Goldberg machine, which is a machine that's built out of pretty much anything that completes a task. And I also tried to offer choice in terms of students being able to work by themselves or in a group, using materials that I supplied for them in class or materials that they could bring from home. But ultimately, the objective of the lesson was to build the Rube Goldberg machine, which also played into their current science fair projects that are due in March, and then also to identify potential and kinetic energy within that Rube Goldberg machine, which is an 8th grade science standard.
And we developed a game called Evidence Blackjack. And the students worked in teams, and they were in competition with each other, which really boosted the engagement of the whole experience. Because each piece of evidence had value, but the stronger the evidence was, the more point value it had. And each group was vying to win. So as a result, there were a lot of really good academic conversations that happened at each of the blackjack tables as students were talking about why a piece of evidence was stronger than another piece of evidence, why it was more relevant to the claim, that sort of thing.
Worst part about no, then that would be lonely. Yeah. No, that's Jonas's opinion. Pretty sure that's Jonas's opinion.
I had them compose a ringtone. Ringtones, you know, every student now, almost every student now has a phone, and a ringtone is kind of part of them, part of their identity now. So that was the first aspect. And then I had them take adjectives that describe themselves, and they had to compose based on those 2 adjectives. So their ringtone was based on 2 adjectives that they thought represented them.
We did cross sections using Play-Doh. The life skills students as well as our students really like interacting with each other because they don't really have that opportunity normally in class. So it was just a fun lesson that they got to explore a math topic that is part of our 7th grade standards, but in a way that was fun and very relaxed, but it had a purpose.
A square, there we go.